good morning to all of you. Today I am going to teach about a new topic, that is the human health and disease. This is a serial lecture and you have to attend all the lectures to get a clear idea about this topic, human health and disease. Today I am going to cover the first part of the lecture. So in this lecture I will give a brief idea about the different terms that are using in this topic related with the human disease and health. So the first point, we are always using the term health. So what is actually health? Health. The word health means total. It is a state of the body. It is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. See, physical, mental, and social. Physical, mental, and social well-being. Social well-being. So what is this point, sir? What is the total physical well-being? Physical well-being means what is? We are always using the term, he is very physically fit. A man is physically fit means he can do all the household activities and all other activities without any fatigue. And he is very sturdy, and the body is, the BMI is very appropriate, the height and weight is very appropriate. And then we can say that he is very physically fit. And at the same time, we using the term, he is not a mentally fit, he is mentally fit. So what is actually the mentally fit? Mentally fit or the mentally well-being, that means he doing all the activities with a very smiling face and without any fatigue, and he has no objection to do any other activities, and he is behaving very nice with the others in the society. That means he is mentally very fit. At the same time, the social well-being. What is actually social well-being? Social well-being means the society is considering him as a good person, and he considering the society is well. Means suppose a person is wake up and always quarreling with the neighbors, always quarreling with the silly things, that means he is not a socially well-being, socially well. He is not a socially good. So how to behave in the society and how the society is looking to that man, that is not a social well-being. So if a person, if an individual is physically well and he is mentally well and he is socially well, that means his health is very good. So that is the word meaning health. So health means a state, a condition of the total well-being, total physical, mental, and social well-being. That is known as the health. Then say a particular term using to study this health, that is known as hygiene. So what is the word meaning hygiene? Hygiene means the science of the health. So when we use the term hygiene, the science, we are applying the science of the health is known as the hygiene. So what is the aim of this hygiene? What is the aim of this science? The aim of the hygiene is to build up the health of a particular person. Actually, to maintain and preserve and improve the health of a person. So if you take an individual, the individual's health is preserving and maintaining and improving. So preserving, maintaining and improving the health of an individual, and thereby the whole society is known as the hygiene. That is the aim of the hygiene. So hygiene is the science of the health. The aim of the hygiene to preserve, improve and maintain the health of an individual and thereby the health of the whole society. That is the aim of the hygiene. Okay. So how to maintain the health? How to improve the health of an individual? For maintaining the health of an individual, he must take a well-balanced diet. It's very important. Well-balanced diet. Well-balanced diet. So well-balanced diet means a diet containing all the essential things, means carbohydrate, proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals, and everything is present in a balanced condition. That food is known as a well-balanced food. And a man must take, an individual must take a well-balanced diet daily. This is one of the reason, one of the way how to preserve the health of an individual. Well-balanced diet. At the same time, he must follow hygienic activities. Hygiene, personal hygiene. He must follow good personal hygiene. So personal hygiene means cleaning the body and washing the hand, etc. All these are the personal hygiene. Whenever we go to the dining table, first wash the hand. After the eating the food, wash the hand properly with disinfectant. All these are the personal hygiene. So maintaining the personal hygiene. So having the personal hygiene and a balanced diet is the method for preserving the health of an individual. At the same time, he must follow a regular exercise. Regular exercise. So with the regular exercise, the health can be maintained. So at the same time, he must show good attitude. Good attitude and good habits. Good habits. So all these are essential to preserve the health of an individual. Okay. So regular exercise, do at least 1 hour or half an hour exercise daily. Various different types of exercise. It may be yogasana or it may be something different. But body exercise is very important. And a good attitude. Good attitude means to love the people and to love each and everything with affection. That is a good attitude. Attitude is a very vast word. So behave good to each and everybody. That is known as a good attitude. And good habit. Good habits means good eating habits, good dressing habits, and there are so many other habits. Everything should be maintained very well. Then in that way we can maintain the health of the individual. Okay, so that is the hygiene and what is the health, how to maintain the health of the individual, and what is the aim of the hygiene. Then say what is actually if we do not maintain the health, do not perform in the personal hygiene, do not perform the regular exercise and good attitude and good habits, what will happen? And if we are not following these things, it is causing some disease. So what is actually the disease? Disease, the word disease, see the spelling of the disease. This is. Disease means this is. So what is the is? If no is, it is causing the disease. Is means everything going on smoothly, with a happily, that is known as is. So when this is breaking, we say that disease, he is affected with the disease. For example, the food is very proper, well balanced food, personal hygiene is okay, regular exercise is doing, good attitude and good habit is there, and he is a very healthy person. Means he has no stomach abnormality, stomach upset, he has no dysentery, he has no fever, and the body is very well. Means he is in the ease condition. Suppose acidity is increased and the bile is not secreting properly by the liver, it is causing the indigestion and fat not digesting, that is causing the upset of the stomach or the intestine. Then we say that the ease is gone and he becomes the disease. Means he becomes the patient, he becomes the diseased person. So that is actually disease. So what is actually disease? Disease means disrupt. Disrupt means disturb, disrupt or derangement. Arrangement is disturbing. So derangement. So disrupt or derangement of the organs, different organs present in our body. That is the eye, nose, ear, and brain, and liver, heart, like organs. These organs disrupt or derangement of the organs or the entire organ system. For example, the digestive system, including the liver, pancreas, and stomach, intestine, etc. All these become disrupted, deranged. Then we say that he is fallen in the disease. So disease means also a condition in which disruption or the disruptive or the derangement of the organ or organ systems are happening. Why the derangement happening? Because the infection. It may be due to the infection of the bacteria or some other infectious agent, or it may be due to the wrong diet, or it may be due to some hereditary factors. So due to some hereditary factor, due to some wrong diet, food, and due to some infection, the organ systems become deranged or disrupted. That condition is known as the disease. So that is the disease. Then you know each and every person or individual is always facing or exposing to the millions of the foreign bodies outside. Foreign body means the particles present outside the body is known as the foreign bodies. And this foreign body include bacteria, virus, and fungus or some spores, etc. So you know that everybody is always exposing to the millions of these foreign bodies, but most of us not affecting the disease. Why we are not affecting the disease? Some of them will affect. Most of the 99% of people cannot affect. Then why the bacteria or the virus we are exposing to that? We are exposing to these foreign bodies. Still we are remaining healthy. Why we remaining healthy? Because we inside the body a system is operating. So that system protecting us from these microorganisms or these foreign bodies and protect the body from not infecting these microorganisms, not causing any disease. And that system is known as the immune system. So a system that is called immune system is operating inside the body. Due to this immune system, these microorganisms or bacteria or like this cannot infect the human body. So we remaining, even though we exposing to these foreign bodies, we remaining without any infections. So say what is the immune system? This immune system is operating inside the body. So actually what this immune system is doing? This immune system is first attack the microorganism or foreign body and kill that foreign body or destroy that foreign body or neutralize that foreign body and protect the body from the infection. That is called the immune system. And by all this, a particular branch of the science is developed that is known as the immunology. So what is actually the immunology? Immunology, a new branch of the biology, that is immunology. What is actually immunology? Immunology is the branch of the science or the biology which explain branch of the biology which deals with the immune system, which explain the immune system at the same time the response of the body to the foreign bodies and how to neutralize these foreign bodies and protect the body. That branch is known as the immunology. So immunology is the branch of the biology which deals with the study of the immune system and also the immune response to the foreign bodies and resist the body against these microorganisms. So resistance, it providing the resistance. So what is actually resistance? Resistance, body resistance. The resistance means Resistance means the body's ability. Resistance is the body's ability to ward off, to prevent the entry of the microorganisms, or if the microorganism enter, to kill that microorganisms and protect the body from the infection. That is known as the resistance. Okay, here the immunology. There are so many different types of immunology. The study of the immune system and their structure. The study of the immune system and their structure is known as the basic immunology. There are different types of immunology. Basic immunology. So what is the basic immunology? Basic immunology means the study of the structure and function of the immune system is known as the basic immunology. Another immunology is the clinical immunology. Clinical. So what is the clinical immunology? Clinical immunology coming under, it includes immunization, vaccination, organ transplantation, organ grafting, and also including immunopathology, immunophysiology, that also including under this. Blood banking also including under the clinical immunology. Another immunology is the laboratory immunology. What is the laboratory immunology? Laboratory immunology deals with the study of the humoral and cellular immunity. There are two types of immunity, cellular immunity and humoral immunity. We will study details of that in the later part of this serial lecture. So study of this cellular immunity and humoral immunity is known as the laboratory immunity. Another immunity is the serology. Serology is the study of the serum. Actually, antibody-antigen interaction study is known as the serological immunity. That also the term I will clear. This lecture I will clear what is antibody and antigen. So like that, these antibodies, that is a serology. So all these are coming under the immunology. So immunology has a different branches: basic immunology, clinical immunology, laboratory immunology, and serology. Then see, if you take the immune system, the immunity have two important characteristics. What are the two important characteristics of this immunity or immune system? one of the characteristics of the immune system or immunity is it recognizes the self from the non-self. So what is the self and non-self? For example, the kidney. The kidney is present in our body. This is a self. Our immune system is identified the kidney is our own kidney. Suppose a person transplantation of the kidney taken place. So he removed one kidney and the kidney is taken from another person. This kidney that is taken from the another person is not his own. So that is a foreign coming from the outside. So our immune system is identify that the kidney is kidney transplant. The transplanted kidney is not it's his own. It is taken from the outside. So the body always helping try to reject this kidney. That is known as the property of the immune system. It can identify the self and non-self. So another property of the immune system, it has a memory. That is called the immunological memory. So self and non-self. And second point is the memory, immunological memory. It has immunological memory. For example, a viral infection is caused, for example, chicken pox. And after curing the disease by medicine, after lifelong resistance to this chicken pox is acquired by this person. When this virus is infected after 2 years, the antibody already formed inside the body will go. Antibody means that is a memory. Immunological memory means antibody prepared, and this antibody identified the virus and the antibody killed the virus immediately. So the disease cannot affect the person next time. So that is the immunological memory. So the immune system or immunity having two properties: identify self from the non-self, and it has the memory also. Okay, so that the immunity. So the word we use in a word immunity. What is actually immunity? Immunity is the ability of the body. Immunity. Take a definition for the immunity. Immunity is the ability of the body to fight, to neutralize, to kill or neutralize or destruct the foreign body. It may be bacteria or it may be virus, and protect the body from the infection of that organism. That is known as the immunity. And this immunity are two types. That is the innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity and acquired immunity. There are two types of immunity: innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity means the immunity got by birth from the mother. Some of the immunity we got by the birth, we got some immunity. That is known as immunity, innate immunity, and the immunity is got after the birth due to some infections. So some infectious agent, we got some immunity due to the antibody producing. That is known as the acquired immunity. So acquired immunity and innate immunity. These two parts I will teach you in the next lecture part number 2. Okay, so that much today. Thank you very much.